Hey guys, before we get started, I think it might be helpful to look at some stamina mantras. Now, if you have me on Class Dojo, you've seen these before. So some of the things that I tell myself when I'm writing, I tell myself, don't quit. I know that sometimes it can get difficult. You might not know what to write next, but the important thing is that you keep your pen or pencil in your hand, which brings me to the second mantra. You wanna make sure you keep it in your hand, so if you have an idea, you're right there ready to write it. Right, the next one, take a deep breath and keep on going. Now, we've covered some other strategies in the past where we can think about some senses, like what it looks like or smells like or feels like. We want to be able to write something where our reader feels like they were also there too. We want to keep our foot on the gas pedal. So just when you think you're about to quit, push on and keep on going. And then the last one, envision the finish line. Think about what is this going to look like after I finish writing the beginning, middle, and end of my project. Now, today's strategy is going to go along with our mantras. It is called say, sketch, 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 and write. Okay, so let me show you a picture of it. With this strategy, our goal is to first say what we want to write. Sometimes that's the hardest part of writing. So in this strategy, you want to take one of your sheets of paper and you're going to start by just telling your story. So I'm going to use this example. This is the paper that I've been writing with, and I'm going to touch the page as I tell my story. And I'm going to do that for 3 parts, like a beginning, middle, and end. And I'm telling my story. After I've told my story, I can go back and sketch. Now, sketch is different than illustrate. Know that sketch is to just put your idea down, and then you can go back to it and add details to your illustration just like you would with your writing. So we say, everything that we want to say on our page. We go back and we're adding a sketch. That means a really small, just like get your idea down, and then you can go back to illustrate later. And then the last part of it is, of course, the writing, and that's why we went over the stamina mantras. We want to write down what was occurring in that picture. So I'm going to show this to my friends again. The first step, we can take out a couple pages from our notebook. We're going to say what we want to put on each page. We're planning it out. The next step is to add details to the pictures or write down a little bit of a sketch. Then we can go back and write about those sketches that we put on our papers. A story I might want to tell is about a time that I went to go see a professional soccer game. So the first step is to put my hand on the page and just tell the story. So I'm imagining that I was there again. And I remember walking through the stadium doors and hearing loud fans cheering. I might grab my second page, and on this page I might say, I looked onto the field and saw the players warming up. They were wearing their warm-up gear, not their jersey or uniform yet. And then maybe on the last page I take it up and I say, we looked for our seats and finally we were able to see the landscape of the field. And then I could describe what that looks like. So then with this strategy, I would go back and I would sketch a small picture of that. So for the first one, again, this is a sketch. That means that it's not going to be the prettiest and it's not going to have all of the details. The first thing that I told you guys about was about entering the stadium and hearing all the fans. So again, a sketch. This is the only time it's okay to put a stick figure. I'm going to go back and fix this later. I'm going over there and I'm looking at the fans, my little finger pointing up there, and here are the stadium doors. And again, this could also be this could be pretty fast. You don't want to spend too much of your time here because eventually we do want to write. And then to show the stadium fans is how I draw a bunch of people standing in a crowd. All right, so the second thing I told you guys when I put my hand on the paper, I told you that I could see the players warming up on the field. So again, this is going to be a quick sketch. So I'm going to draw the soccer field here, goalpost. There's our halfway line, and then here are the players out on the field. And again, this is the only time you can do stick figures, okay? All right, for the last page, I told you guys that we found our seats and we were able to see the landscape of the field. So I might draw, as best as I can, the stadium seating. And I'm just gonna make up, I don't remember the detail of what our seats were. Let's just say they were H and I, but then there's also a lot of people around us also watching. So I've done the say, I've done the sketch, and now I need to go back and I need to do the write. So again, I can keep going back to it and adding details. So the first part of our paper, this is my right. So we walked through the stadium doors. Fans were chanting, yelling, and cheering. So remember, I'm writing about what I sketched here. I can go back, add more details to this, and of course I'm gonna go back and add more details here, but this is just the beginning of it. This was the second picture that I drew, so it is the players warming up on the field. So now I'm gonna do the writing part of it. So for the right part, I wrote, players pass the ball feverishly across the field. And again, I can go back and add more details, maybe about their warm-up gear or the different ways they were practicing before the game. This was the last page, so I sketched out a picture of our seats and us watching the game from where we were seated. So for my writing part, I took a look at my picture. Here are our seats. I said, finally, we found our seats. The field looked magnificent from where we sat. Now what I can do with all three of these, I'm gonna put them in order from beginning, middle to end. I can go back and add more details to each one of these pictures. And then of course, once I add more details to the picture, I'm probably going to have more details to write about. I hope that this strategy was helpful for you guys, and don't forget those mantras. When you feel like quitting, don't give up. Thanks guys for watching.